Good morning. It's Loren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica. I've been asked this morning to address one of the 8 keys to optimal health. And these are the 8 keys that I teach. 7 of them are completely physical needs of the body. The 8th one is creating a high level of emotional poise, emotional balance. And let me start by explaining why I believe this is such an important thing. You know, if you've ever seen a martial arts match or participated in one, anyone here have any martial arts experience? You do? Every martial art that I'm familiar with has a grounding stance, right? And that grounding stance enables you to meet an opponent with the most balance, being ready and able and balanced and in a position to be able to deal with an opponent. Imagine instead of that grounding stance that you met an opponent in a martial arts match standing on one foot with your arms and legs out, extended. You'd probably wind up on the ground pretty quickly and at a significant disadvantage. I would suggest to you that many people go through their lives emotionally standing on one foot, arms and legs extended. Someone looks at them the wrong way. They think they hear something, right? And they're down on the ground, completely incapacitated, at a significant disadvantage. It's been said that it's not about what happens in life, but rather about how we interact with what happens. And there are many amazing people who've gone through incredible difficulties and yet managed to stay incredibly strong. And so, again, it's about being resilient. It's about being able to deal with whatever's coming at you because you're starting from a place of balance and preparedness. And that's what emotional poise is about. So how can we create this high level of emotional poise? How do we do this? Well, I would suggest that the starting place is in the intellectual realm. And normally we're talking about health. I'm telling you to get out of your head, right? It's all about being in your body. Well, the truth is, this is too, but it does require a combination of the body and the intellectual, because it really is about how we choose to interpret what happens. We're often raised in this culture with this mindset that people are doing things to us, right? That we're victims in some way or another. And clearly we all know of examples of people who have been victimized, of terrible things that have happened. But when we look at what happens to each of us, what happens to you on a typical day, the stuff that people complain about, so-and-so did this or so-and-so said that, it's what we want to understand is that it's not reflective of us at all. It's reflective of the other person. Okay? So how does everything shift if we really get this? Well, imagine for a second that you never took anything personally, no matter what someone said or did, because you knew at a cellular level it didn't reflect on you. I mean, someone once said, what other people think of me is none of my business. Right? That's an understanding in motion of this idea that whatever somebody else thinks, I don't have to take that on. That's their business. What's important to me is what I think of me. It's what you think of you. Are you comfortable with who you are? Are you happy with what you're doing? Can you sleep at night because you're living in integrity, because you're making actions, you're taking actions that are in line with your beliefs and in line with what you say? If not, you might have some trouble sleeping at night. Okay? It's going to be hard to maintain a high level of emotional poise if you're not being completely honest. And honesty, real honesty, has to start with yourself. So we want to take a look at how we're interacting with everything. Now, I've mentioned to you guys here with me, we did a brief talk about nonviolent communication not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, I think. And nonviolent communication, it's a brilliant language. Marshall Rosenberg invented this way of languaging things. And really, for me, it's more important than how we language them. The languaging, the way we speak it, is a tool. But the core idea behind it, NVC, which makes it so powerful, is the idea that nobody else is ever responsible for how I feel. Because how often are we making other people responsible for how we feel? You make me angry, right? Or you made me so happy when you did that. We're giving away the responsibility for these emotions. We're making ourselves a victim. And whether it's positive or negative, as a victim, we don't have control. We're powerless. And that's what we're doing, because we're giving away our power when we say, you make me feel this way. I've got news for you, if you don't already know this, nobody can ever make you feel anything. Don't get me wrong, obviously other people's actions and words may trigger emotions in you. But what NVC points out so brilliantly is that those emotions are coming up not because of what somebody says, but because of how you choose to interact with what they say. And because of needs and beliefs that you have that are or are not being met. It's never about the trigger, it's always about what's going on inside of me. And so NVC is brilliant and powerful because we language things in a way that says, I feel angry when you did what you did, whatever it was, I felt angry because not because you did something, because I have a need for, which wasn't being met, whatever it is. Okay? That's a very powerful thing, because in every moment when I'm noticing my emotions, whether I'm speaking them out loud or I'm simply noticing them in myself, I'm taking complete responsibility. Damn, I'm pissed off. Why am I pissed off? Well, this person said that, and you know what? I need respect. I have a need for respect. And I believe that was disrespectful. When this person said that, my need for respect wasn't being met. Why was I angry? Because my need for respect wasn't being met, not because of what somebody said. Now, what I can do with that is I can then begin to shift my consciousness